Cherish our own. Ghana Premier League is back again. I say this is our own. Let's cherish our own. Division 1 League is back again.
Of course, Division 1 League and then a Heart of Lions say almost there be da. You feel we are out of Division 1. The news or the word on the street is that Heart of Lions are back into the Bet Power Premier League. It's the 2023-2024 season in the Heart of Lions. Bobby. Now look at Siada and a mobile coronation mark at the Pando Sports Stadium on Rances. They won by 2-0. Former president Randy Abbey Betenenka, Sasona GFA president Ket Yesu Kwekusuko PMU or also Edin Anudin Sem Tuja. Remember that the local tidbits here on the Sports Park on Max 89.7 is brought to you by NLA 590 Games. NLA se nipa bone fo adoso nti wo ha na wonya kwa obi frɛ wo se me ye adwuma wo NLA patcho se ni misika kakra na me fa nya de ma me no bu ska ne ma wo se dabi omo se nipa bone fo so beware of fraudsters. Omo se person wo 590 mobile games Nibia. All you need to do is just call their line or go to their official Facebook page at Kid NLA Mobile. What's my proposal was 0596-921-590. How much show more what you need to do to play the NLA 590 games. Or you can dial *959# or visit 590mobile.com.gh now to play on your phone across all networks. Obviously, all wins are paid directly to your mobile money account, and not just a woody and a banking crying now. Begu phone so I let her back. This is our own. Let's cherish our own. 590 mobile, almost say a down sim. Yeah, share a year results in PMO or the Bet Power Premier League in them. Now results in the dorsal. But first off, yeah, Division 1 and 7. Somebody can catch or say a year Heart of Lions. They've qualified back to a year the division, the Premier League. Sorry. Now one more Division 1. 2015 and a Pando Heart of Lions echo relegation. 8 years in the Omapim Subia, woman to me my. This time, the gods of football have smiled back to them. The news is that Heart of Lions, Pando Heart of Lions, Akpini, they are back into the Bet Power Premier League. It's 2023-2024 season. Kotoko, Heart of Folk, Ediana, Mediama, Bechem United, Mutia, Mobekok Pando, Etemumwa Muye. Na game no ekoso ewo omo coronation game no ekoso wo the Pando Sports Stadium ho and omo matches this season. They've been very, very good there, so they deserve to qualify. Na omo game no and Yampo Franca, the head of sports for IMAX Media, Max FM and Max TV Shase. One it Randy Abbey or no your president of Heart of Lions Kitchen Komo. Na say and Randy Kai.
Well, after the disappointment of not qualifying last season, we really were bent on getting it right this season. And so we all resolved to put in our very best from the beginning. And so we were really determined to make it from the beginning. And I mean, thankfully, everybody played their roles well. And here we are. Well, from 2014, every single city spent on this facility has been ours. And you know, the standards for Premier, the licensing is even higher. This is a no-stand stadium. And for the Premier League, we need to have a minimum of a 2,000 stand with 100 VVIP, a VVIP lounge, a media center, so many other facilities. And so we're in talks with the Sports Authority. And hopefully we'll be able to come up with something and ensure that we play Premier League here.
Randy Abbey, president, Edema, Heart of Lions, or say, somebody or qualify for Premier or Beshana Womu Stadium, Pando Sports Stadium, no, almost because one of the requirements for any team to play in the Premier League is to have at least a 2,000 capacity stadium. Now, VVIP, so also Kama, be 100 seat be, and also the Ning Abbey to 12 Kwamona, just a league now, Mabano, Omansa, and Komochi. Ket Okweku, or your president for Ghana Football Association. One on the copy mu Eddie Kurua ne share Heart of Lions in same. One also say and Neniaje say Heart of Lions after several years they are back in the Premier League.
Very excited. I'm excited about the quality of football that we saw today. I'm excited about the quality of Pando Heart of Lions deservingly winning the title or the championship. And I'm excited about the general organization of this event. I think that what that tells all of us is that we can do it. The Division 1 League is an interesting league. It's a league that can attract the people if we put in the right levels of energy and investment. And today, look at the masses here. It tells you that football is loved in this region. And in saying this, let me say kudos to the leadership of Pando Heart of Lions for the enormous amount of investment they've made in this club, and for also investing in the future of our kids. I mean, these boys here now have a future. The kids here, the youth of this area now have a future. They have an alternative way to entertain themselves, and I'm extremely happy about this.
Heart of Lions are back into the Premier League. But yensha womo dadano and womo pre set womo be survive. Match day 30 of the Bet Premier League. It is some interesting results by Tamale City and a chassis on it can Faisa at the Pemo. So 40 minutes and Akuto to Atana at Tamale City. Samson Eduku Beshe 2 goals in the 20th and 32nd minute. And Sana God knows Jack Pasu at the Baku Piso in the 54th minute. Emma at Tamale City Eddie Kunim over Ken Faisal by 4 goals to 0. Ewo Honomeno edit the PMO Aliu Mahama Sports Stadium. Samatex so trefie any Heart of Folk the Pemso. In the 4th minute, and Samatex shared the first goal. Ofusu and the Shamomo. Gideon Asante Eboa take Canada my Heart of Folk in the 42nd minute. And Sana Heart of Folk, Linda and Tauge shared the second goal for the Phobians in the 63rd minute. Now will be him say Heart of Folk Kurim Eddie Edin Kudim. Emmanuel Kayeke, former Kumasi Asante Kotoko midfielder, but take Kano Edema Samatex, Emma Nibe 2-2, and Sana Yusuf Sedu in added time. Or the Baku Piswa, yes, na just a Samatex, Edin Kunim 3-2 over Heart of Folk, Edin Kuku, and a free Samra boy, Eba. Tamale United, New Dreams FC, Akesiano, Obia, Entimi, and Shannon Yonko, Legon Cities, and so Echi, in Swaterman, Esho, Makami and Sama and Swaterman, Etimu, Mienu.
This is our own. Let's share it.
In the 10th minute, I was able to at today the Kaidema Legon Cities and Sano Fori, Samuel Fori, ever take Kanamani 1-1 in the 14th minute, Edema in Swaterman. Samuel Ama ever share the second goal for Legon Cities in the 24th minute, and Sana Raman Edeba Kupisu in the 37th minute, Emaneko 3-1 in favor of Legon Cities. Samuel Fori now Sanche Bako before first half, Emaneko 3-2. Second half goes via MPM Legon Cities, Ekurema Edidi in Kunim or Great Olympics, Oli Gbogbo, Oli Mashi, Oli E-Levy, Oli 10% tax, Oli Cathedral. Almost Yakan against Kotoku Royals. We echo so the Sogakope Red Bull Arena. Isaac Mensah and a 2 at the Edema Great Olympics in the 44th minute. Emmanuel 1-0 and Sana Osei Eso de Baku Piso in the 54th minute. Emma Oli Edin Kunim 2-0.
Let's cherish our own. Division 1 League is back again. This is our own. Let's cherish our own. Ghana Premier League is back again. This is our own. Let's cherish our own. Women's Premier League is back again. I don't see a day what dog can want. And EJ can want. The ration more. This is our own. Let's cherish.
It's a Great Olympics and a victory. Or the Sasson Brekum Chelsea. So Trefia Chichre, Kanai, and the Sway, Accra Lions. Amakona. Steven Amakona had a share the first goal for Brekum Chelsea at the Golden City Park in the 47th minute. And Sana Amakona Sade Baku Pisu in the 60th minute. Dramani 3-0 in the 65th minute. Yebapono and a Henry Asu at the Baku can work 4-0 to Brekum Chelsea. Asante Kotoko as what after drawing 1 with Tamale City. No, now will be a training Kotoko. We recover this time. Now Anka Omodi Nkunim. Yes, game now in the 4th minute and a Kotoko eto atna Abrantia friend Safu Taylor and a share the first goal. Edema Asante Kotoko. Game na kwaswa ya boa second half will be answer the Yonko. Game na we crave you. Ye game na obi anim say game na end. And a former Heart of Folk striker, former Ken Faisal striker. I bet they go tete. I bet take Canada ma baby any go stars. I know Ekoye 1-1. Ye game no. And Asante Kotoko coach Gazeli and Sudibi Etuja.
Well, today the players did well today because it's better than what we saw last week against last match against Tamale City. technically we do things right in some moments, and some moments too we get it wrong. We took a lead in the first half, which was a nice goal. Individual talent came up there. Taylor was able to get an opening goal for us. Unfortunately, we lost our focus in the 9 minutes of the game because we all agreed not to allow ball to get into the 18 yards. Unfortunately, Sharif didn't do well. Sharif needed to close in the gap, but he was rather moving back until our opponent get the cross in the area and it was to a goal. Well, we'll take it as like that. It's part of the game. We're expecting to win. Unfortunately, we get the draw.
It's Gazeli, ono coach, Edema, Asante Kotoko now, Tenica. Michael say, and so of baby any goal stars, or not yet, then you just send the team in 1 point.
Yeah, I said it before that the team is in good shape. We have improved from the last season. So we have shown it today because we were very tactical, disciplined. We normally we don't deserve to lose this game, the whole points. We were able to get 1 point, which is fair game for us, but we were better side. And then I hope we will continue until the end of the season. Yeah, this experience. When you are getting experience in the game, so you are always getting it better on your tactical changes and your tactical play. I think today the boys have done so well. They were very determined. The willingness was there. We wanted to get a point, and then I said it before the game, and then they have got it. I'm so happy for the team. For the community of the Babiani, and then my entire.
Michael say, coach for Babiani Gold Stars and our Tenica. Yeah, send Bet Power Premier League table no etie. Too much is be why I was see through Adriana FC who are the league leaders of Monte Carolina and the Bepem so Sason and Mediama and Sunny Bechem United at the Bepem so games ningina at 3 p.m. and ningina basso. But say and a table no etie. Adriana FC, more game, match day 30, but they are still leading the pack with 51 points, and then Omobetime Atrim, they are 54. Bechem United, and so about Siakayan, one Mediama Nebo, Ewatakwa, they are second with 48 points. Mediama, at also third with 47.4. Ayabrekum Chelsea. 46 points. Heart of Oak at Ababe Tosso Fit with 45 points. Asante Kotokotoso sit with 44 points. Be any goal stars. Maybe any goal stars after getting the draw against Kotoko. Currently, they are 7th. Omotoso with 42 points. Samatex Etoso watch 8th with 42 points. Accra Lions are 9th on the table with 41 points. Legal Cities currently find themselves 10th with a 40 points. Real Tamale United also 40 points. They are 11th. Tamale City Eda Womochi Patch as a new form, you know, Omunya Hokra. RTU that level with not Tamale City also Eda 12th with 39 points. Karela Abetoso 13th with 38 points. Wohonomene and on the Subesina Kain, what they Adriana and they Pemso Wanana Ajima Bedu Park. So game no, it will be live on a start times at the patch channel 247 commentary. So Ebechegu Ewo Max 89.7 FM. Great Olympics, Oli Gbogbo, Oli Mashi, Oli E-Levy, Oli 10% tax, Oli Cathedral. They say Omotoso 14th with a 38 points. Dreams FC are 15th currently with a 38 points as well. Last 3 teams on that Bet Power Premier League table. So I ne see Jai League in the ball mobile relegation. I am Swatman who are 16th with 37 points. Ken Faisal, Inshallah boys, Alaji Gurus and Mano, Omotoso 17 with 36 points. Kotoku Royals, the emissary Riano Marianesa, they have 23 points currently. Omotoso a year 18th. Abejafo ya krado mo bebemba before that yebekwa ahomando so ye kwando anope na yakodi nkomo bi e wo kwando afisa Heart of Lions are back. That is the word on the street. Ghana nyina me sure say the biggest news from nra besi ne the fact that Heart of Lions are back. Ye do mo PR mo kasama for our friend Eli aji enetwetwe komo. Good morning Eli.
Yeah, good morning, my good brother.
Me sure say die pa you slept well.
I slept very, very well. I felt like a baby yesterday.
What the car cry will be fisa what the car? Early 8 years, Ewo Division 1. How challenging was it?
It's not been an easy task at all. It's been so challenging. After we got relegated from the Ghana Premier League, the journey has not been smooth. It has been very curvy. Out of the 8 years that we spent in Division 1, at least we were able to play 5 seasons of competitive football. And those 5 seasons, we lost sometimes narrowly to teams that actually edged us through the trophy. We lost twice to Dream FC, lost the trophy once to Great Olympics, Accra Lions, Kodoko Royals. It has not been an easy road at all, but one thing that we kept saying is that Heart of Lions is a team for the people. It's a traditional club, and the people are solidly behind the team. Heart of Lions is a club that has management looking at the welfare of the players and how well the team can be built. So though it has been very challenging, especially the game itself, at the end of the day, we set the project for ourselves, and that project successfully executed this season, and here we are in the Premier League. Division 1, many people describe it as the wilderness of Ghana football, yes, because Division 1 has everything: good football, good officiating, bad officiating, hooliganism, and serene environment. Everything you can find in football is found in the Division 1. So it has not been an easy battle at all, traveling left and right, with coming up against other teams that are equally as good as you, taking results home, losing away, coming back home to lose at home. It has been a mixture of feelings in the time journey of Division 1.
Now, you talked about the fact that you've come close to qualifying over the years. What did you do differently this year that aided your qualification?
So this year has been a significant improvement in our approach. We actually brought in a new head coach, Coach Fattal. He is the national assistant to the national under-20 and male side. Before the season began, we had a 6 weeks intensive pre-season tournament. This we've never done in two regions. This particular season, we actually saw Greater Accra and then the Volta region. Preparation started immediately last season ended. Before Coach Fattal even came, our assistant coach actually had opportunity to scout few players from the middle leagues that took place in 3 regions. I can name mention of the Eastern region, the Greater Accra, and the Volta region. This is all in a bid to get a very solid team in readiness for this particular season. Once Coach Fattal took over, he continued from where Coach Sule actually ended, and then built a very solid team for this season's campaign. One other thing that aided us so greatly is our club president, Dr. Randy Abbey. This is a man who takes the welfare of his players at the core of it. He always doesn't want the team to suffer. He always wants to give us comfort. Over the years, he has been playing that particular fatherly role to majority of us, and he continues to do that this particular season. That is the team that never owes salary to players or a technical team. We pay winning bonuses promptly. Nobody complains about financial issues in the club. The club is run administratively very prudently, and we look so efficient coming into this particular season. So Dr. Randy Abbey's influence on the team has been one of the hallmarks that we actually look up to, and then we work towards the achievement of that sole project, that is to qualify to the Premier League. We can also not talk about our sales package without talking about our board chairman, Mr. Ikutochen. This is a man who loves the game. He is from this traditional area in Pandoyen. He loves the game so much that he puts in his maximum effort, and we enjoy a lot from him. The supporters traveling with the team each and every match week, from Pando to other match venues, from those match venues back to Pando, week in, week out, they were solidly behind us. I remember our game precisely against our regional brothers, Volta Rangers. The whole sports event was overtaken by the people of Pando. We went to Akachi, the fans were there. We went to Pampram, the fans were there. Tema, they were there. So a lot actually came together to aid our passage to the Premier League this season. No wonder we've been able to beat some clubs back-to-back. Clubs and league professionals, we've never done a back-to-back with them before. We did it this season. We did a back-to-back with Tema Youth. For Crystal Palace, we've been beating them continuously for 3 seasons now, back-to-back. And these are the things that actually help the efficient performance that we had this particular season. Everybody came together to make this project a success.
Now, Ellie, I saw footages of wild jubilation among the players. That is understandable because they are coming to play Premier League football. But for the indigents, the people of Pando, you are there. What does this mean for them, Premier League football?
It means a lot to the people here. You know, Heart of Lions looks more like a traditional club, and the people actually clown themselves around the club. They made the club look that dear, and Heart of Lions is the identity of that penny state. So it was wild jubilation. When the team went to the Division 1, a lot of them kept saying that, look, they will not come to the stadium to support the club because they have seen Premier League before. They know what Premier League looks like. When the whole Pando will be a chat atmosphere if they are to hold Heart of Oak or Monsters and Tikotoko. They've seen a lot that football has given them here, and all that they wanted is the team to go back to the Premier League. So when there was indication, when the second round began, that the club was on the verge of going to the Premier League because of how we were playing, attendance at our facility increased. Patronage actually went very high, and the expectation and anxiety in the people was very, very high. Yesterday, the whole community was in a frenzy mood. You could just go to our social media page and see how the people welcome Heart of Lions last Friday into town when we are actually coming to get ready for yesterday's game. The whole town was charged. The convoy was very long. Everybody was out. Old men were out. Young people were out. The elderly were also out. All in the aid of what the Heart of Lions has given them in the past and what the team is about to give them. Because Heart of Lions, some people can be marketed efficiently and effectively through Heart of Lions. When you mention Heart of Lions, you mention the traditional state. Or you mention Heart of Lions, you are mentioning Pando. Or you mention Heart of Lions, you are mentioning the whole Volta region. So everybody was at the Pando Sports Stadium yesterday to see this colorful moment after this dreadful journey of 8 years in the Division 1. Everybody, in this particular morning, we are the chief panelists to present the trophy to Gopewote, the Siaga of the African traditional state. And people are still here witnessing this particular event. This is how passionate the people are towards football in the town, and they know the economic benefits that football gives them. I remember those days when we were in the Premier League. Anytime it is a big match involving Heart of Lions and, let's say, Kumasi Atlantic or Heart of Hope, food gets shortage. Food gets short in town as early as 10 a.m. If you don't come to town early to book hotels, you are not going to get any accommodation for yourself. And this is the frenzy moment that people are expecting Heart of Lions to bring back to Sunday. So everybody is in anticipation and in a very high spirit towards the descent to the elite division of Ghana football.
8 years you've been away from the Bet-Power Premier League. You're back. Obviously, things have changed over the course of 8 years. Teams have strengthened. I mean, there's been a lot. TV coverage, a change in venues and all that. How will Heart of Lions prepare for the Premier League? Yes, I'm Division 1.
That is beyond us. It is one thing qualifying to the Premier League, and it's another thing coming to the Premier League to sustain yourself. When we actually had a project of qualifying to the Premier League, the project is not only to qualify to the Premier League, but the project is to qualify to the Premier League effectively, enter into the Premier League, compete in the Premier League, and make an impact in the Premier League. I can tell you for a fact that we are actually very much ready for the Premier League. The kind of technical team that we have are ready to send us to the Premier League and not only compete. The management that we have are also ready to aid the team to participate in the Premier League and participate effectively. So we are not just coming to make a 9-day wonder or just come and take a look at the Premier League and return to Division 1. No, Division 1 is not our standard. Heart of Lions is arguably one of the biggest clubs in Ghana because we've been able to chalk some achievement that some other clubs have not been able to do. So we are coming in strategically to stay in the league, make meaningful impact, and I'm very sure before the season will begin, management will actually give us a task. They will give us the project that we should execute. And I know for sure one of that particular project will be to compete effectively and remain in our league. Everything about remaining in the league and competing in Division 1 in the Premier League will be taken care of in the subsequent days, and the media as well as the general public will get to know the roadmap that we are putting up so that we can come back into the Premier League and not only be spectators, but we go to a dining table, partake in that dining, and possibly we might even end up eating majority of the food on that dining table.
Ellie, thanks for your time this morning, and we'll come to you hopefully tomorrow to see how that presentation goes at the Chiefs Palace. But congratulations to you and the people of Volta region, not just the people of Pandu. This means a lot to you, and we are waiting to see what you guys bring onto the table in the Premier League. Yes,
we keep saying that nobody comes to Lions Den without bruises. If you come to Lions Den, you definitely live with a bruise. And we kept saying also that Waano, that is our motto. It is the heart that perceives. Our heart perceives the Premier League, and we really much needed it, and we announced it. Thanks so much for the time.
This is our own. Let's cherish our own. Division 1 League.
Eli Aji PRO Kasamafo the man Heart of Lions and yenene etwetwe nkomono or say league na wo ma qualify bemone die 8 years dia Heart of Lions score division 1 na wo muntimi qualify o masaba enti has kotoko mediama Bechem United eduana Mokokpando 2023-2024 season. No? Now they've produced some of the best players that we've seen in this country. The likes of Obed Ansah, the likes of Dominic Adia, the likes of Jerry Akamenko. Glassina wakomunina afemu ewo Heart of Lions. That maybe come kofa Liberia ni bi by any friend Bob Zio or be hard pa Kuruma yekaya mobuima na Heart of Lions edimu akote wo and Omasaba back to the Premier League. Eti wonsam yebedi nkomo bebre abedwafo aye krado wo beke bi nanadu what early or say wo mo ba wo mo nyoma dwe so mbeko back to Division 1 Premier wedding, but we need to congratulate them. I know the future project be on back, but qualifying back to the Premier League, that is good.
It's a good thing. I hope they will come and stay.
Also my bread. Also my bread. No, also Division 1 nankasa wedding.
Especially their zone. Because Usho Muzo now, there were about 5 Premier League teams there. Amabo Premier League nibida. So that particular zone 3 no is a very difficult zone.
Nana me bacho me ba ho ba me kwa ho man so quickly na me ne Ghana Premier League commentator Professor Jude Champo twetwe nkomo ketu bi Jude.
Mutala Yakubu.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And opay them you sure say we twa tea dada.
Oh, there be breakfast here the mood drink me di benku be di wachi aka ho.
Okay. Na and a big match and ekoso e watakwa mudru kromo na kasa na feeling it saying.
Well, the feeling is great. I can confirm that Takwa is ready for this game. And you know what? Osha, 2 teams now more history be. Both teams now beyond to be really war the young Kofi. Midema has never won a war Nana Fosuji at War Park and so on best air draw. And so same as Bechem United. I want to mean share Midema air their compact back. And this a game where tension and the pressure will give us so you don't do Kumano. Bechem at one of the best hotels ever had now shares them with Takwa Kurutia. Omo pass your bus no kwa home out to say. I won't be Kuman, I don't want my banner, we are well determined. But again, they come up against a medium team what shown in recent times that almost 7 matches at home in their last Premier League 7 matches. No, almost really a giving source of hope, source of confidence. Say, and then whatever it will happen, the medium will carry the day. The day looks bright. I say we are the PA. And all your fans of Mediama and now member stadium part because I'm also say where your game one I was so rally behind of the team. And to hear the president of Mediama, why are you saying atmosphere conducive for a charged atmosphere this Saturday what they are compact.
Now, Jude, and conform a brace Mediama a title pretenders. Almost say over the years, Mediama bay title, no one has it, or Omobejiana, BBSC, COVID-19 and Ma, an access pose. But this time, do you think the people of Takwa actually believe they can lay their hands on this trophy?
Yeah, who's back and forth, no? Mediama, I say, Omoyang Nafasa. When it matters most, they tremble under pressure. And this is idea the president of Mediema, Moses Parker, has said, Wakope psychologist, Wape coaches, there was to say, at this crucial moment, players need to lose concentration, players need what is at stake, especially when they came to Accra, lose 4-2 to Accra Lions. He doesn't want that to happen. And again, what is at stake? Mediema is a new stadium and a beauty, an act of the century. When we talk about a stadium, you see the football with a very good, atmosphere, good design. Yeah, there. And see, I already said this is the time. I was almost to be not almost to be the deal when you normally crowning the president, and then again, Michelin company almost see the stadium. Again, we have sponsors. Mediema person this time around Qatar. Opia is so interested in this game. Almost this season, I was saying Mediema, that shocks, that headache, that fever. Nobody man comforting supporters now. It feels different a little bit from other heartbreaks. Somebody, this time around, they have their foot right on the pedal.
Mediema squad now in time past, about 2 seasons ago. Now, as almost assemble galaxies, almost as star players in Quaye. This time, as I approach, as a Sakakra.
Yeah, of course. I don't just coach from the Aba. Even Sadoti, in the history of Mediema, he's a part of Mediema, out and out. And then again, Omunya, a hiccup, Tamal season started. In the last 3-4 seasons, Mediema and Shelly, for me, that is where I'm a problem in our. Almost about 6-7 matches, only 1 win because managerial aspects are almost sorting out. But then again, you talk about the players, this time around, almost done in the Mediema JC, a mixture of young, talented boys who are well determined and experienced. For instance, who here a goalkeeper that post anymore? Or a goalkeeper we're proving over the season. So obey to me, we are talking about goalkeeper Felix J. We're proving in terms of clean sheet is there, in terms of performance and consistency or the amount. Even defense now. I'm from Ashko Obiewunu. When you call up to the national team, this time around he's proving one of the best right backs in the league. Left backer. Former Accra Lions left back Hamidou has been fantastic. That boss situations every day you can count on him. But even in the central defense, a new breed of air passing through the Ghana football run. We're talking about Nuruddin Abdullahi, Nesta, and then the very experienced Vincent Atinga. It was a mixture of senior old players or more experience and exposure with a young one. Who in the heart of Minnesota, there's Kofi Donsu, who has shown that the experience, the exposure, and also Kante is coming to bed. Don't forget, he's the second top scorer for Mediema this season with 5 goals. And he's playing with that young, talented Mante in the heart of midfield. It's again youthful exuberance, the experience. Now, on the flank, new player, we are able to the sensational Derek Fodjo, who one-on-one, the league will be able to win one-on-one. Or that skillful, or that potent up front. And then on the left side, you will see him passing with a lot of skill. Then on the right side, another experienced player, plus another, is sitting on the right side. See, again, mixture of experience, youthful exuberance. Up front, there is Nana Kofi Babo. He blossomed to stardom about 2 seasons ago, and with his pace, with his precision, every hander for goals, combining with Jonathan Soa, the informed Jonathan Soa. You expected the game and then to be a very formidable day for them. But then, of course, Kasim Mengel has other ideas. Mutala, Kasim Mengel, goalkeeper Odemu Hadari, and goalkeeper since Abdullahi leaving Sino or also actually goal leader. Then at right back, Enoch Esel has shown ball at the moment a top player or the national under 20 team will move to the under 23. At left back, one of the sensational left backs in recent times, and Kojo has proved his own in ball, had a call up into the national under 23 team. Then the central midfield, Joseph Kempo will partner Kofi Abashima, and this has been the defense of used to all season. Just in front of them will be Francis Kene, the formidable Francis Kene. Then he will play alongside Isaiah Nyaku, who is a nimble-footed player. Latif is back, and Abila is back into contention. There is Obed State alongside Edia Abdul Kadira. These are formidable players. But up front on the right, there is that young, sensational player, contracted that whole player to see Clinton Dodu on the right. Then, of course, Hafiz Konkoni leading the line, and Emmanuel Tonyo also on the left. You see, this looks a very, very good squad. It is going to be a cagey encounter, a Herculean clash, and the clash of the moment.
Professor Jude Champo Yedase, and we wish you all the best. And will commentary position you together with Prince Anani. Yabeshibi, Max TV. So.
Okay, fantastic.
It's Professor Jude Champo, Ghana Premier League commentator, and the train come concerning that big clash and the Airbus. So, a second versus third. Mediama at that third or 47 points, or maybe Team United or that second with 48 points. And I Pemso. So, as soon as Diana and Sonny Carella at the Pemso. Nanedu, Yentuaso.
Yes, I mean, Lions, the Nayambra Mediama, of course, Team United. I suppose the most important thing is, say, Pandu Bitumaya ready to play in the Ghana Premier League.
National Sports Authority, Kasa, the minimum requirements are here for GPL. Stadium, I will say a 2,000 capacity. And a VIP one, so at least 100 seater capacity. I also in a VIP lounge near the Ading in Auntie. Randy Abisi or Shena, or money or Mudin Komobi. But since 2014, also now about team no come.
That is the most important thing for them to do.
Obviously.
Monetary Premier League, Saudi and title.
You don't think Lions can survive outside?
The biggest teams now more Premier League Nibia. One move for Division 1 bano. Obo home away from home. Yeah, difficult for you to stay in the Premier League. Into may Pando Heart of Lions are the agency here. The most important thing is to solve that thing. To solve na Pando Mino ever Premier League game or Pando. Attention no. Any spirit of this team will be different when you are playing home away from home. So, Pando House of Lions, Mr. Randiabi, and who could have a DHR, Pia on the board. They should use between 2 to 3 months to face Pando Stadium. Almost to Mr. Obes Adian.
Is it possible?
So, almost they are doing their best. It means, on my year, a lot of studies around it.
Because we are so many at most by 3 months.
Say from now to say start a new season is about 2 to 3 months. So they can do it. And may assure say club license for the monitor with the help of NSA for the penny for DHA so munya to fix the normal. Because a combasso Pando out of Lions games, even in the first round alone, every Pando, it will be difficult for them to survive. It will be difficult. Team Biaobo, especially those teams now, traditional Kakano. You need the spirit of the town behind you. You come acquire for you get 3 points, you go home. And you're born a born in Quaye. There are a lot of factors. Ubo home, or supporters a tie with you. Soon made team nechi, ending pitch and so, ending stadium ho. And it's very important. In this idea, no say uncoil side. Now the Ghana Premier League is difficult for you to maintain your Premier League status. So I feel say Mr. Randy Abedi been for the team and some idea no. Menen Fattal is a quality coach. I got the experience in recent times where Kuku Damechi. And to maintaining him in the Premier League no is very important. But they would need some few experienced players. Almost test the Premier League nikakra. No matter blended with the squad. Now Boa Pando House of Lions. Maybe I believe use more young players. It's very important. But sometimes experience kakra and so boy. So when you have 2 or 3 be, nobody say experience no many in the Premier League. No, and they guided these young boys and more results are open. So I feel say Pando Heart of Lions one area about where some story and also it's very important. Now the most important thing is say Sikabeba team more. You compare the no okay say Randy Abe has been the brain. And obey this scatter team that you do no. Yeba Premier League, obey here more hands. A kuku damfua, almost may invest a lot in the Premier League. Net my boy Pando Heart of Life because Premier League now what ban here this can ebo. Buying quality players, maintaining quality players, ninja here this can eh. So may you sure say Pando have no Lions, almost the borders at stake. They need to find a way to do those things before the Premier League start because may you sure to free the Premier League now go Division 1. And one maintain Premier League status. One for Division 1 member. Are they back where don't much say? And some must to Premier League debut. So the competition no pair. What we start this season in the Premier League no. It may improve next season. Teams no back. We also be a no message. So why not that Premier League top? Where we need Oh, we need even half of the Premier League games. I send one message.
Yeah, I'll say league leader 14 games can win here. Yeah, about 29 games so we need 14.
It means we need even half of the game.
We winning 14 pen or say 14 pen we winning.
They say we need even half of the games.
Yeah.
Extra was say Premier League ni mo ayedin. Intensity no kosoro. Teams they improve. You need team control wo. Obi a person get 3 points. That is very important. And to say about Premier League ni man, say dey na say award ni man sana waba. Say league na ya gbe in there Obi ehunubo. Obi knew how to get 3 points. So while you're ready for that, yeah, you can stay in the Premier League. But I say in Pennyford the Heart of Lions anyhow may invest to a club in the last 8 years it was Division 1 to compete with Liberty Professionals, Kotoku Royals, Tema Youth, and the license in Zone 3. Now what to my qualifying actually I was say we team now ready for the Premier League. In the last 8 years, these are teams who are not my boy for Division 1, they are got this experience to the Mighty Jets, Rancid, Forno, now God FC. These are all strong and powerful house when it comes to Ghana football. So what we pass through these rounds, every room to the Premier League, and some come with Chibium, and some we had the to maintain your Premier League status. Now, on the Ghana Premier League game, I so takwa. A big game. Many probably do the argument. Say me sure say if there is a big game aside Kotokone Hasa or my takwa ko face media man. One big game today, a game I will be against Benjamin United. Yeah. And Castle Mengo, I was at him. No, on my game, you must power Premier League team Benjamin United. And I first say, last is one of the teams who lose to key players, but they still invested well to get quality players to replace those players in the team. Benjamin United losing their main goalkeeper, Abdullah Idrisu, losing their main defender, Samuel Sekufo, Latif and Lambida injuries, and Manenya consistent this season, and of course, August Nokra, who is their highest goal scorer. But quite fast, or there's some young players from nowhere. I'm just starting more results. Consistency, I have been scoring the Abuomo, Avenue form Abuomo, and of course, if Chania went to Manco team, yeah, that will be United. Every engage stability in the midfield. That is crucial. And I first any idea about what to my guide your moment do something so we. So almost what did be say? They can win the Premier League. Oh
yeah, sure.
Oh, they was strong team.
No, oh yeah, sure, sir. They believe that they can win the
they can win it. Oh, believe
because me when they say one more mentality, no one may dear ma say if we get it fine, if we don't get it, I the problem.
Oh, man attack Cassie Mengo. Quaye or fast win the results, especially over team. Now, upon the time that we are in Pennyford, the team that you got my money and the lies. You're supported by United. That oh, when league no magic. You come and do something so we. So a big game at the Media Football Club. That they might air cost what Quaye. Some winning the Premier League, Eco Africa. No more to me use some stadium. Some make issues of football. Ever yet there, ever strong. And I thought almost in the game way will make sure that ever bring it almost close to the Premier League. I'm not the Premier League, not it. They don't want to make it. From time I ever caught normalization, and that's what I say, and the media has been close to winning the Ghana Premier League. So a game against Benjamin United, a game back what about to match a mental strength to win the Premier League. And I was a media is ready for that. And almost some few experienced players for her. I'm a board not but I want to win the Premier League maybe. I'm not buying a mobile the two of us are not buying. He has been in and out of the local scene. About 10 years consistently, he has been and out of the local scene. I think the same, one of the experienced players in the league, and of course, Kwesi one of the experienced players in the league. With some few experienced young players to be on their journey team. No, my media, my air could go modum. And this is not buy we improve team the performance per what we saw in the first round of the Ghana Premier League. And the other back, I don't the other media team no more. So I was at home. Team determined to remember picky win. Takwada. Now media must to win picky win. Will be team down. Media may well imagine say, oh, some win the Premier League. Once or when say Diana so one day. Man, they have to get the maximum 3 points. That would be crucial. So I will say, a game there, to be honest, a slim win will not be a bad result for Media Football Club. Maybe a 1-0, 2-1 win will not be a bad result. But they should be careful about Hafiz Konkoni because he's eyeing the goal kick to win it. In the Edukwa joining on the top spot with the same number of goals. And of course, the likes of Isaku Kuka and this Kotoko striker, Mukwala. Chelsea, those two.
Mukwala or 11 goals.
11 goals. And Isaku Kasu run, and it's 11 goals.
Isaku Kasu or 10 goals. I bet Nego 10 or 12.
I didn't say Isaku Kasu 11.
Yeah. Okay, Isakuka or 11.
Also 11. Now Ben Nego got 10. So players, baby, Yanumi and Sabi Eddie Konkoni. Konkoni for say, what can be close for a very long time on 2 Monday. This is the time for him. And I thought so very nice say in an away game like this, at least we one goal be.
I think I'm no.
I think also in a highest scoring defender in the Ghana Premier League now. Yeah. Even they are top scorer now. We if you are made for that question.
Oh, 9 goals.
9 goals as a defender. Obey Nigerian say, oh my mistake. Now a toho for spot kick BI is ready for that. And what saying in recent times say, yeah, capability to that as defender or go chef from that department. He's one of them. So I would say, my mom 1-0 win. 1-0 win
in favor of Bechem United.
Takwa in favor of Mediama.
Takwa.
Yes. 1-0 win for Mediama. Yes. Okay. 1-0 win against Bechem United. That is one thing I may suffer say but my bemu in the game Amosobo. Ediana. Ebo home to Karela. Karela almost travel ko Tamale ekonya good results against RTU. Esan so ba fie ebenya good results. Almost about margin so maintain our Premier League status. A lot of controversial issues surrounding the club in the course of the week. But me also didn't need to air try so much mako. Ako peke a good result. There may be a draw be. Or the mobile will be difficult. Imagine him say this is the time for Adriana to win the Premier League. This is the time for Park West Fabin. What he has done in the Premier League or Ghana football in recent times, no, the time in here. What body a strong team, what Ben crew wanache. And this is the time for him to win it. What body a strong team, why are consistent for some time. He is very close all the time to win the Premier League, but don't mention. We quote almost virtually all the big teams in this country. The man for say opportunity where the man slip it to his hand. Or making sure so about my I will be nearly now. This is a Karela. A team ya up Premier League naje. Now you cannot beat Karela at this crucial moment there. Then Ediana for no seriousness. Obviously.
Now say Nanajima Bedu the only say they are very solid.
Solid. They're difficult for them to lose games there. But also more recent times now it's a goal scorer and I a problem get it. On Meshekwan and the 1 in the 2 be. What I say, scoring more goals at home is difficult. Ediana Star. Even Tamale City, you have to travel to about 20 minutes of extra time for them to get that maximum win against them. So it tells you say almost struggle to score after Brighton left the club to Tanzania. So almost area back almost like a pano. With that area, I thought say almost home. But I thought say in there, met one more maybe 2-0 win over Karela United.
Okay.
Between Adriana Stars and Karela, no matter one more 2-0 win in their home game against
okay, Nanedu and I'll tell you kind of Josiah. Fabika ona the akana ye farmer ATF4.
Yeah. And the games they are very, very crucial. We share games there cost now. But then I always feel say if you're Adriana Stars, you'll be going into this game thinking say it's a win-win situation for me. Especially if you're able to rack up all 3 points. Because Oshe with you, or Muda with you know. Bako and Ra wins me winning. That's hard to folk. It's only equation, you know, with him. Then you have Mediama and also Bechem United playing this afternoon. The best result Adriana would want from that game would be a draw. Say Omumuba could be an engine maximum point. Because how much points no to me winning. It just extended the gap not to what? To 5. So what you here. So in this situation, Adriana would just be hoping say these two teams will play out a draw. At least back when 3 points in then they will also try as much as they can to win. At this point in the season, you have to play well and hope say other teams will also do you a favor. So what you here. No matter where you are, you know that you have to play well. Yes, get a result yourself, but then also you need favors from what? Other teams. And you're sharing your course. So most of the home teams were able to get so far away win in this particular match week. Away win almost home teams in Bobre. I think Kotoko and RTU were the only home teams not to have won maximum point all game. But then I doubt the trend is going to continue today. I don't see any away wins though. But then also I feel the home teams would have the advantage going into this particular one. For Mediama, they've been very, very good over the last couple of months. No, I think Ushe teams on man start year now. Omona so far, Oma pick up, and that should tell you say, is it league ne abobo. For you to think of the fact that we've played 29 games in the league so far, or some teams have played 29. Not even league leaders, Adriana Stars have only won 14. That means that they've not even won 50% of the games they've played this season. You get it? And that tells you the competitive nature of the league, Mutala. The league is very competitive. Devi Ameka say, but then Osha Bepa Premier League Nima, it's very, very competitive. Because Osha Fiti, even first, Eba 17th, just look at the point difference. Esra, I think it's just 15 points or so, or even less than 15, 14 or something, from first to what? To 17th. So that should tell you, say, league na heading, and once you are able to get a win, that what? It's skyrockets your what? Your league position.
The points, you know. So you bought 30 games.
Yeah, about 30.
About 30. So that's equivalent to 90 points.
90 points.
And your leading what? 51.
So it means 39 points. Now even your leading.
I drop it.
And that's a lot. That's quite a lot. Yeah. So what you say? So you can even look at when you are talking about the competitive nature of the league, you can also look at it from that aspect or from that perspective. So what you say? Because the league is very, very competitive. Now we are talking about Mediama. Mediama themselves, I told you say earlier on this season, the only teams to have gone to Takwa to beat them, Akon Park this season, I think 3 teams spend it. Adriana is one, Kotoko, and also Heart of Folk. Aside that, no, coming forward, no, Omunsheda Lusu games they've been very, very solid at home. Osha Kasi Mengo ni Bechem United. Almost away there, and yet my away form is not that good. I don't get why they are not able to channel that home energy, no. So Muko away from home because you have the league's highest scoring player over there. You have other players who play support as supporting cast to this player because Clinton Dodumo and other players to around. Bechem United have got a very, very good team. But then I think what they lacked was the belief to win the league, like Ediana. Because if they had believed from the onset, said league we able to riding Ajia, I think there are some points this season they wouldn't have dropped. Okay, I said I think 3 weeks ago, I'm call Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex to play against King Faisal. Yeah. They dropped points over there. So what you say? Yeah. So these are crucial points that dropping that season we are. What's the rest now calculate? I want to and then your G League I am 3 points in Tianka me winning match way draw we are and come heading and come make but at that point you would have been too late. You see, if you want to win the league, Adriana have made us understand say sometimes it takes something extra to win the league. Because if Adriana should go ahead and win the league this season, what I'm saying in the last 10 years, and Komaji League need be racing Hearts of Folk in pool.
Sir?
Yes, because Hearts of Folk, last 10 years, it took until when? I think last 2 seasons, good, and Omoji. So if Adriana should go ahead and win the league, it means that in the last 10 years, Omoji League need too. That's a Heart. So that should tell you, say, it takes something extra. But then if you have the belief, say you can go ahead and win it. And at this point, ever since Adriana Beda first, since game week 7, I think, they've not slipped. Because they know how crucial it is when they are playing at home. Into a home form, ne dear, or yen a day, or bar, or best eye then, a bad draw. They won't allow you to come to the Nanaj Mambedu Park and get a win over there. Last season, I see Adriana and Yadi Wofie. Last season, normal form, no. Second half of the season, one win in pool. It was bad. And the entire season, they lost just 4 games at home. That was one of their poorest seasons in the league. So that shows you how good they are and the mentality with which they play with. Because Osha teams there, that top one, I think say, Omo striker will be boasting of even 6 goals this season or even 7. Because Mediama have got Atinga, who is on, I think, 9. Bechem have also got Konkoni, who is on 14. But then you ask yourself, say, how do they get the job done? It's because of the system coach, Fabian is deploying. They are very, very resolute. This is a team that do not ship in a lot of goals. Last weekend, we watched their game against Kotoku, Ewodewu, and it took until 90+2 for Kotoku to equalize. Where they felt very, very disappointed, said that was the time they could have wrapped up the league. Because Omujis are 2 points and by this time they've opened a 5-point gap. So going into this game, they know say winning after a win today, no, and one no, because Sami Diema and a Bechem game no will also be a deciding what factor. But then Mutala, in these 2 games, they are being played simultaneously. At a point, Karela will stand a chance. Looking at how good they've been, and just recently, my away game, I'm to quite call RTU. I'm going to maximum points, because I'm some good players. I think Komone, Ayemo, and some other Bright Andomo and some other players. But then when you are going to Ediana, sometimes though you need something extra. You need to put in a lot of work because for 90 minutes, maintain this you enjoy it over there because they make the place very, very, very daunting for you. And we've seen the way Ediana have been able to show resilience and character in games via Omwe winning. Mekai Omni RTU, they took the lead in the 70th minute onwards. RTU better show and a dynamics of the game almost better. The following week, almost against Tamale City, and it was the same thing for them. So they've gone on to prove say Ubat Nanajman Bedu now be Bobona Yampoya Untimin Kasa Widing we winning. That's how good they are. Kaela themselves they've been struggling this week. No, Yate Nyesisi Woho. I think they are dealing with some issues, but then this is the perfect time for them to put this thing behind them.
Currently, they lie 13th with 38 points.
Yes.
2 points via Kaona. I guarantee what we save.
May say 40 points no automatically doesn't guarantee you.
This year,
this year, baby, I'm telling you that we could have a record number. A team could have a record number of points and still get relegated.
Yeah.
Because
Swatema was 37.
Yes.
Currently, they lie in the relegation.
Exactly.
You need about 44 now.
You need about 44.
Kevisa. It was 17.
Yes,
they have 36. 36. Other teams above them might also rack up.
You get it. You get it. So that narrative say 40 points there. Yes, it has been the mark. But to say no, the competitive nature of the league is telling us say 40 is no more the magic number.
Because the ability say you're that top no. Aim to mean number of points baby no. I reflect what here.
Exactly.
Because calculation and earlier on say after 30 games by 90.
90
the leading 51 no.
Say
the leading was by 70
Of course, because that would mean that team has picked up more points against the teams down there.
Down there.
But relegation for the year.
So
numbers.
It's an making that statement say, Oshefiti Ediana, Ebe seeking Faisal. The points difference over there no. 15 points. I think.
And that is the surprising
that is
thing.
5 games.
Yes, that's 5 games though.
Yeah, very surprising.
Yes,
that is 5 games.
From first to 17. 15 points, pay 51-36.
That is 5 games.
5 games.
Yeah, boy, we are how many games?
4. That's 12, equivalent to 12 points.
Okay.
So what you say? So looking at Sina Ashishena, I had wanted to stick my neck out and say
so by what you are saying, Senka Ken Faisal etimi Edin Kunima and Ediana Lusu in the next 5 games now. It means that Ken Faisal will catch up.
We'll catch up with Ediana, of course. That's how it is.
Currently, they are in the relegation.
Yeah,
they will catch up with.
They will catch up with Ediana. So Ediana says, "Utimi winni back up, baby. It's me 2 questions. Once you're able to get 3 points, so what you say? Even if Kotoko winning the game, the 2 games against home games against Tamale City, and then against Gold Stars." And one that be done.
Okay.
So what because that will be 4 points what? Gain.
So you mean after match week 30, Obasawa Ghana Premier League, I so to me guarantee 7 points from the
4 games.
12 points.
12 points now.
12 points now.
Also, you 7.
2 wins and a draw.
Yes. It means when you all 2 home games win, you
will
will
try
at least one away game.
Yes.
Unless the team now or down top, on also games, we need 2 home games, not drop points.
Okay.
That is why we will overtaking.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, so going on, Osha Kaela, 38 points. And Omukita. It's going to be very, very difficult for them to move to 41 today. And I don't see how they can go to
Doma. And I say after several months, Chelsea team movie from 39 points
to 41.
But a simple calculation, they say. Only the teams me and that's here. The simple calculation for you is out of the 4 games, Obia 2 home games.
Okay. Of course, yes.
And to say you bought match with 30, we never 4 games. The what that as you on the strong. Just win your 2 home games.
That is all. It's another maker say.
Unless what that's your on phone, but me team is now one uncle allegation. On so on winning league. That is where the business aspect of the game will come.
That's why I was making the point here. Omwa this game week, Omubo home no. A favor Omopa.
Yeah, because we win 3 home games.
Because remaining 5 games, we win your 3 home games home.
Yeah.
Aha, inti wow Obo home this game week no. If you can face our mono, I bet diamo mono.
In fact, we not away point to be anchored.
Can face our away point that. A bet diamano. So what I say. So at this point, so Aquentium you know, we 3 games, so 2 to play. But then let me talk a bit about that Bechem game because that's the game Obi any better than because they are chasing what? Adriana.
I sure so me no me serious party.
No,
somebody league.
It's America say what say is about the belief. So met miaji. Oshe Bechem play some free flowing football. Omu she goals this season and omu cry the first let me say Ash Gold. Oshe league dima over the last 3-4 seasons no. And Ash Gold nene she goals but Ash Gold in way is Bechem because currently ground one 37
but
goals
Bechem
in the league.
are out of the race.
Oh no, but once they lose, you see, even if they draw and Adriana go ahead and win this afternoon, it's over. I don't see them catching up with Adriana. Because Adriana will still go ahead and win their 2
And in fact, they will have a game against Adriana.
And at that point, so I think at that point,
you see about them, man.
yeah, at that point it could be coronation for Adriana. So what I say, because in the game, no, the moment you drop point, and Adriana will just be hoping for a draw. You see, but what makes it more interesting in Pony say, if Mediama should win, they are 4 points behind Adriana. If they should win today, then it means Adriana should win here. They maintain what? That 4 points.
4 points gap.
So what I say, so Adriana will wish said that game would either end in a draw or Mediama what will win. Because if we win here, still Mediama would need to win 2 games, and Adriana would need to what lose 2 games for them to catch up with them. So what I say, and you see one good thing about this Adriana team is at least on away games they are able to get some draws. Away from home, they are able to get some draws. But Mediama, for them to travel all the way from Takwa to Accra and lose by 4 goals to 2. You see, it's a better just sometimes it's about belief, Mutala.
Yeah.
If you want to win the league, you need to show ambition. Obia when we say game league no baby edruno emu ayedin. No ama Accra Lions achiwa she 4-2. Ayetiana RTU Sufi tamale ebe ebeji 3 points be Accra Lions in. You see, so you need to be ambitious. You need to show ambition. Say this league, I want to win it.
Accra Lions lose 3 matches at Waso.
So how do you sit there? No, why you say hi? Na Accra Lions are show 4-2 because those America say when the season ends.
But they look safe.
Oh, Accra Lions are safe.
They are 9th at the moment with
they
41 points.
40. They are
not safe. They are not mistake.
No, they are not safe. Because they are not safe. Accra Lions are not
41 points.
Yes, but they
look safe.
They are not entirely safe.
The 2 home games now
because
teams are not more
yes. It's a year casino. Say baby Juno, you need also your calculations. So what I say, and you have to channel a lot of energy into your home games because those will be the decisive games. It's the whole week. Yenya away win biano. So far this week, obi yenya away win. Team or back close by Accra to folk. Onumpono or Lusu game no. Yeah. So that should tell you say at this point no, your home games are crucial. So what I say, home games now are very very key because Ocean Lions where they are now no. Some takes impo don win Gold Stars impo just recently you see. Pressure, no. They are just a point ahead of them. And they are not even saying they are they are safe. Because going into next week, they say, so to be loose, nothing be winning or pound. No. So what I say?
So there are no margins for errors at this stage.
At this point,
every point counts.
I'm telling you, Mutala. So far, mathematically, they look safe. The teams that look safe, for me, I think it's 50 Samatex, Airco. They look safe for me. So I tell because for
Samatex are 8 on the table with 42 points.
Yes. So for now,
on maybe any goal starts now 42
yes.
points.
So for now, I draw the line over there. 8th position, I draw the line over there because Anya teams where can win at home. Yeah. So as I say, Gold Stars, Samatex, we know how good they are at home. Yeah. So as but from Accra Lions, Basi Faisal, King Faisal 2-3 weeks ago, no more than baby Samatex a day. They were in a good position. They've gone winless in their last 4 games. Drop zone again. So you need some level of consistency. You get it. If
between
you want
Ken
to
Faisal and Real Tamale United, actually who are 11th, it's just 4 points.
It's just 4 points. So it's very close. If you share Okasa Ode as a your two exams for class are obienya 30. Now we di first. What she have
the next game away.
So they can swap places again. It at the end you be swap sa cuz it am since in bedding. Ebe end. So that because if we are to look at it with baby out there, we'll be deceiving ourselves.
So for you, apart from Kotoku Royals, you think say they are goners, no? The rest of the team, no, from 9th to 17th.
9th to 17th, anyone can go down. From 9th to 17th, anyone can. Even Tamale City, Tamale City, they've been very, very impressive. Because they have a superior goal difference than all of the teams over there, and they are scoring so many goals at home.
They've not lost in their last 5 games.
They've not lost in their last.
They beat Bechem United 3-2.
Yes.
Then they went on to draw with Great Olympics. Away 1-1.
Yeah.
And almost share Hearts 4-1.
And
before drawing 1-1 with Kotoko.
Yeah.
And last game, they scored 4.
Exactly.
They seem to be a revolution at the club.
Of course, but then on the last 4.
And Hamza Kwabru Chiriba
I think on the last 5 games or 6 games in the league, they scored home games. Almost as many as 16 goals.
Yeah.
That shows you how good they are. So this is a team.
And you want something Eduku.
Yeah, Eduku team.
So they score a lot of
yes.
goals.
So they are making you understand. Say, a bad dimpo. They say your home games. You bad thing.
You be
winning. So what I say. I sometimes I have to agree with the management of Great Olympics for moving their home ground.
But as a whole title charge now, but you are not talking about Brekum Chelsea being in the shot. They have 46 points.
Chelsea are not in the mix because they say
that's
why we are not talking about that. Itiana, even I'm telling you, say
you are not being fair.
It's not like I'm not being fair.
Between Hearts of Folk and Adriana Stars, it's just 6 points.
Baby, let me ask you. Let me ask you. Have they proven to be convincing enough for us to talk about them? That's the question we need to ask. Because Adriana have proven to be what? Worthy what? Contenders. That's why we are talking. And they've made statements with their performances. So what I say, and Friday, preview games, make catch us say, if Hearts still wants to be in this title race, then they have to go and win a Summer Boy. And at the point, I thought they were going to what? To win. Until say Summer it's a show last minute. So at this point, I'm not, because Adriana, yes, it's your projections. So what I say, your projections are, Adriana is not going to slip up, especially when say, with their remaining 5 games, they have 3 at home.
Adriana have 51 points. Between themselves and the current league champions, Asante Kotoko, about 10 points.
10, yeah.
Kotoko have 44, Adriana have 51.
Yes.
About 10 points.
Yeah. No, with 4 games. So how do we talk about Kotoko?
Yeah, the calculation they be simple. They say, if Mediama wins today, Adriana win the league.
I don't know. Especially if Adriana should win today.
Mediama win here. You became out of the title race. In Jebabeye, Mediama, Adriana. In which Adriana not became home. So that time, Adriana, yes, I win the winning league, win for Adriana. So, wouldn't the history of the Ghana Premier League how some things work, sir? A clear example is when Adriana, no, ne, as go they pray. What the point I'm making? If no baby here, no, baby, you'll be afraid to determine who wins. That is what I say.
It is sometimes to fate in the hands of other teams.
Oh, that's a football now for a game. Football now for a game. Do you think, sir, me a better United if be Adriana if be? If there is a chance for me, Adriana, to win the league, now better would now hold the key to Mediama and Adriana. One man be winning. Adriana will win. So it means in Nano, Mediama to me pick that maximum win. No. I want Takwa. A baby better for title race. A you better from it, yeah. Adriana chances near high.
Okay. Maybe Josiah, Lagos Cities. Maxwell Kunedu, they were in the relegation zone.
Yeah.
They fought their way. On the last 5 games, very impressive. They've actually won 4 and lost 1. Currently, they are 10th with 40 points.
Yeah.
Safe.
All 2 home games.
All 2 home games. And what did the trick for them?
Maxwell Kunedu can summon relegation.
Okay, and calculation. But I think what did the trick for them was that win at Einase.
Okay.
Einase 2-0 no winning and then the assistant Bibiamo. So what I say. So they were not even bothered when they were beaten 5-1 by Dreams at Dew. Because they knew say away games they definitely we are going to what? To lose. But at least they tried as much as they could to get 3 maximum points from one of what? Away games no more. Say some 2 home games, Sandro win here. Lagos City's won.
Yeah.
Against Swatchman.
They
By
won.
3 goes to 2.
Yeah.
So now they are telling you, say, your home games we are not going to lose. But then you call away. At least we could what? Get a win over there. So what
you win the 2 home games. What is
it? You are good. Says we win.
And there is no Kotoko game. There is no Hearts game.
So what you say? And games are relatively low. They are easier games because on the next game, that will be away. They play against Hearts of Oak at home. They travel to King Faisal, Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex. Then they play their last game will be against Samatex. But Osha 4 games we are. Trust me, Lagos Cities are not going down.
At a point, Ibrahim Tanko and Accra Lions.
Oh, yeah, guaranteed.
Nanedu, at a point, Ibrahim Tanko and Accra Lions were second on the table. Now, they can even go on and win because they were playing some impressive football. Oje said what affected them along the way.
I think Accra Lions, their mindset is not to win the league. No.
It's original league in the
I want a respectable position. And yet, team sitting in the league are due.
Sir.
Oh, level na Accra Lions square. No more league are due. By this time, they will still be fighting for. Last season, Ghana Premier League, one of the teams almost shipping a lot of players outside the country. Lions was one.
Yeah.
But almost scouting system brought quality players in the team. Into who show almost strength in the first round now they access here. By this time, community Diana for April. Almost strength in the first round. No more they shot some now. By this time, community Diana April. But me assure so among club now what they have one of the best brains in the local league. More guiding. But I do more partners there. Better a respectable position. Yeah, first 6B, Accra Lions room. Yeah, first 4B, Accra Lions room.
So it's not about winning the
I am not sure.
The league.
I'm not sure.
You be season as na e be for tenase meet na.
I'm not sure. Accra Lions is to what they want to win the league. Almost strength pies to build a quality team and sell quality players and get good money.
Okay.
And the almost season anymore. Almost first season anymore. Our top striker near for Rauf.
Salifu.
One more first one to no
Salifu Rauf. So Cincinnati, I think.
Yes, one
Malaysia. Stop to Quentin no. Omujom come Mokoye. And there Amas Samari mu de kita team no Abbas Samari. Omu no kita team mu. In Sobila ne Abbas you are here city we be ya.
No go Soboko.
Don't move. So that is how Omu build almost.
Yeah. Josiah in Swaterman, they've been praised for having a very beautiful stadium. They've made their home a fortress. Teams go now, but currently they are 16th. It doesn't look good for them because they came with a lot of prospects.
Yes, every team comes with a lot of prospects, and the wish of every team say if he Division 1 nearby would stay for at least one more season. Yeah. So what he has here. But then now we're to 2 nyama and I know na mene nana dakwa wahana make a chance say the last 4-5 complete league seasons are only one team managed to go an entire season without an away win and stayed in the league. And I think that was in Interlice, I think 4 seasons ago. So what I say, in the league, the Obama away win is what? At least a must. Now, Shans Watchema, their home form no, won't be in cash in home because it's good. But away from home, Osha away table, no, that last, chatwo. More 1 point. Away from 1 point. And Osha number of games I bought this season. I will bet Power Premier League away. Omabo 15 games. And 15 games is equivalent to what? 45 points. So imagine playing for 45 points. No, it's me what? 1. Yeah. And yet, so what I say, it's not good. So in Swachema is one of the teams that some more away from home. Who didn't say they'll lose. So as I say, they don't show any promise when they travel away from home.
Almost 2 away games in the bed determined. So
no, but I don't think so because trend now. They don't look like winning or drawing any away games.
So the 2 away games now cut for them.
So as I say,
but on the next game, a home game against a Real Tamale United.
Oh, they can win that. Now when they are going to win.
Then their next game will be at the Brecum Golden City Park, Omni Brecum Chelsea. Any away game.
Is that they are going to lose that one? And now, funny enough, no.
Depending where Brecum Chelsea is.
What mebao? Ocean Swatemana. They have some very interesting games coming up.
If Brecum Chelsea is safer.
Okay, see me. And also na me ba be bubu ade.
I've been no.
But me bubu ade na ma. It's Waterman's next game. It's against Real Tamale United. It's a home game.
Yeah.
Then they make a trip to their neighboring town. Omoni Brekum Chelsea and Ekwako.
Brekum Chelsea how many points?
Brekum Chelsea
46,
46.
46.
Yeah.
They are right behind Media Mind Bichi.
Of course. Omo
fourth. Yeah.
Omo wie Brekum Chelsea game na. Omo ba home. Omo ne
Ediana
na ebebo.
So what you see?
The league leaders and ebo. It's a short trip for
they can get 3 points in Brekum and lose in Swatre.
No, they are never going to win in Brekum. They are away from data.
They finish their league season against Great Olympics.
Great Olympics. Also got
but omo 3 crucial game. Home game how many RT bebo. Omo wie no they are playing their neighbors. Omo bo Brekum Chelsea. Omo wie beko omo bo another team within their region, Adriana.
So what
is it? Their point on both here. Oh, me per calculation minimum Ghana Premier League. They will win against RTU.
Okay.
Omo ko Brekum. A win or draw for them in Brekum. Not a win or draw for Adriana. I want Swatre.
Okay.
A win or draw. Yes, then that means you are not picking up maximum points because per calculation you need to pick up maximum points at home.
Win or draw. A bit dependent, baby, Brekum Chelsea that. After you match with 31 ahead of match with 32 against Swatre.
Match they be basso no. Where they line anybody
no, but you see Brekum Chelsea will still be aiming for top 4. They'll still be aiming for top 4.
Okay.
Let's not forget. Brekum Chelsea
they say top 4 no dey.
Oh, that's it. No.
Top 4 in the best family.
They be at least a trail going into the next season, extra Bobre.
David, top 4 no dey. Top 4 you more biom. Top 4 gala. Yeah, more
but at least a top 4 finish at least. A boa status.
It is not like other leagues where top 4 is that.
They are telling me say me this second and I say me the 16th, right? Or 15th, it's almost the same thing. That's what you're telling me.
It's not the same thing.
That's what you're telling me.
In circumstance now,
yes,
you see a top 4 no would 4th.
It's me di 4th. Now me di 15th for league nima. Is it the same thing?
It's not the same thing.
The 15th for relegation.
It's not the same.
Yes, so don't tell because they also want to finish the season on the high.
But if Brekum Chelsea finish the season 5th, it's still respectable.
No, but then we need to win our home game.
Well, I had the NBC yet to me enter nkobo so nkomo na ye de. I hope thank you better so but yet to be enter so. Etna be biom ba etna de na omabo. Yes, we will have a fair idea of what is happening. Yeah, cano. Yeah, the be for normal friend now. Almost so actual Madrid. So our phone lines are active. Ubetima friend now. Also the Odiaba 0550055522. Hello, good morning. Udini baby akase free.
Good morning.
Yes, boss. Udini baby akase free. Nyame na dom. Yanko.
I mean, come on. When you are coming, can say, push it and house of match. A quite incident is you see me on the man. Memory, maybe remove referee, and I say, maybe remove a house, technical bench, any place. Say, as I win, I wait you. Papa will say, I'll cover the tone. BBC, 1.21. Went to me, could then be I'm for the 90 for no one's young share. One depending, that is, the dining incident, which is go out, Dying to say a question about half month in Zemania. Waano, you only got some memoir around you. Yes, you know, catch 90 for non street referee, and boy, good that Abaso says Lata, and now you think an Emma good that and nobody got about wrong. And when the government is human, lose super army. And we see a grown man and idiot, and then who will be Amazon. Former for Kate, former for RFP, my Qatar. Bye bye.
Yeah, that's his self friend now. Also, the ODA about hold on, I just say, course, the FB account. Phone lines active 0550055522 and at 0579 300 025 0201 825 252. Hello, good morning. We didn't baby akase free.
Hello, Mutala. Good morning.
Obere yanko.
Mutala, me pese me bisa ibise. Let's say, who say, I'm going to game and say interview coaches no, and after the match.
Patron.
And this some game you now let's say now all the match no so you be some was man. E o fe no so a Any fair, and I ain't fine.
Pacho, any referee no or the report, or report, call NT, the opposite Hunino, a call a year, body no organizing league in Honum. So referees don't grant interviews.
That's why.
Yes, so yeah, that's I say offer now, so the Aba. So more time to pick calls. You can also call us now. Also the Odiaba 0550-055-522 and 0579-300-025. Hello, good morning. Udini baby akase free.
Yeah, good morning.
Udini baby akase free.
Arafat Kobian.
Arafat yanko.
Mubajima. Onyamisao. Alaja Bula, man, post the offend the Abroka, Alaja Via, Mitelsa. The American say, Andra has to talk, the ball has to talk, American Abbas. Usumu say, Omukun Kunepa or Samaboy. What I say, now referee now, Jinamudu, and I'm soon Yamai. The referee, the boy outside, now the outsider. And look at how we start the decision. I have done a referee, I don't know. I come home. You never come home. Abrofuna almost sponsor score line and a decision. And I change the decision. Ghana, you need decision, you need to now to me, a very ball offside. Not the balance to go offside. That's a Nipana, I go home. Cincinnati, when you have 3 points. As a Ghana football and Quaye, what is it? Road face, you think I first the entire Ghana road face, you're back from Ghana, I hate me from Omukudi up for match living. And in Zambia, a road to cross Mukodi work out. Gambia, a road to Mukodi work out. Venezuela.
I'm so when to me, so when we now some kun dear, and then the judge my dada auntie. You can also call and share your thoughts on all the issues that we've discussed here. Max 89.7 FM. Hello, good morning, Udini baby akase free. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning, Udini baby akase free. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Udini baby akase free.
Yes, I'm Ajingo, Mekatapi Kupuria.
Ajingo, yanko.
Ayo, Kakra Mekan say this season the Kotoko and Wamway and Kra, Wamway and Kitty, because Usha and Kakotoko chances to Uncle Obaji League. And so I can say, Waji League last season, or the action I did say, or GB County, why a mistake, big mistake, because in Takunya, I'm a Kotoko on Waji League. Okay.
Hello? Hello? Hello, good morning. Hello? Hello? Hello, good afternoon. Mutala. Hello?
Hello?
Hello, Mutala, good afternoon.